Hi, my name is Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek of Origins 2018. I'm sitting down with Rory O'Connor from Hub Games, and you've brought us Holding On, The Troubled Life of Billy Kerr.
Yes. So this is a game we wanted to create where we want to create a game that would pack an emotional punch for players. I'll jump right into it. It's a game that's played over 10 scenarios where basically this patient, Billy Kerr, has arrived into your hospital. He's had a massive heart attack on a flight from Sydney, Australia to London. He's been given days to live by the doctors, and you're the senior nurses working in the hospital, and you've been told, just look after him during his dying days. But Billy's saying, I can't go yet, I need to set things right. So the game opens with you knowing nothing about Billy, and you need to care for him whilst trying to kind of build trust with him, find out memories about his past, and hopefully help him come to terms with the 3 regrets that keep him holding on.
Wow.
So this is the scenario deck, and this is where all the each scenario will be revealed. It'll have narrative text. It will give you the setup and changes for each scenario as well, because each scenario is uniquely different as you play through it. They're like kind of chapters in the story, and you have to complete the first scenario before you unlock the next one.
Which is why we're very much not showing any details of this deck, because we don't want to spoil those elements of the story.
It's like I'm itching to talk to people about the game, but I can't. A few people have beaten the first scenario, and I've shown them the opening to the second, so I've teased it to them.
Right, this is the trailer, not the spoiler cast.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside, and I'll talk to you about the game. So the components here are like the prototype components. It has gone into production, and it will be available at Essen. So like I said, you're going to be the staff working in the hospital, indicated here. So there's the player pawns, and then there's the assistants that are going to be available. At the beginning of each day, one player will become the shift manager, and they're responsible for assigning people to shifts. So each day plays out over 3 shifts, and essentially what you're trying to manage is Billy's condition. If that ever drops to 0, the game ends. If this deck ever runs out, Billy reaches the natural end of his life. So this is 13 days that you're playing through. So on the first day, you're going to flip over the first card, and each card is going to show you Billy's condition, how many staff are needed to cover the shift, and you'll see here he's deteriorating by 2. So if you don't provide medical care, he's going to drop by 2 on the track here. If you provide palliative care, you can gain kind of trust with Billy. You'll gain these 2 care tokens, which for the moment they're these standard tokens,
yellow ones.
or you'll gain a partial memory. Okay, so for example, I might say, okay, Beth, I want you to go and cover this shift, and we're going to send one of the assistants. Okay, so now you're the most senior person on this shift. You get to choose whether you provide medical care or palliative care.
I'm going to go with palliative care.
Okay, so you will have started with 1 care token, so you would use that to cover one of these.
Alright.
So anyone that is left uncovered, he will drop by that amount. Okay, so that's the shift over. We're going to reveal the day shift. Okay, so he's in good form, he's stable as indicated here. So if I was to provide medical care here, he would go up by 1. But to show you how the mechanics work, I'm going to assign assistant. Okay, so the shift manager is always responsible for the assistants. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to say I want to provide palliative care, and I'd like to kind of chat to Billy. Okay, so what would happen then is I would give you the memory deck. Let me just kind of cheat this a little bit.
Right.
You would shuffle it up, and then you're going to deal out 2 memory cards to me from the bottom and read out the bottom.
All right, we'll put those within camera view. Holding her for the first time, she was so perfect. So that's my leftward card, and then those early days, I played the fool, trying to leave the past behind.
Okay, yes. So we're going to keep these face down, and we don't get to reveal these until we get to the end of the day, where we kind of meet in the bar afterwards and talk about Billy's past. Yeah, and also the risk is we might lose some of the memories or forget them because we've gained stress during the day. Okay, so we'll do the... Oh, this is also an opportunity for me to talk to Billy. So with my care token, I'm going to talk to Billy. And again, I'm going to cheat this just a little bit. So you would draw cards, shuffle and draw cards from the bottom of the deck. So I'm going to draw this one. I'm going to say I want to talk to Billy about the second timeline in his life. So I'm going to get this card. Because the memories basically make up the story of Billy's life. It's 30 cards.
I was going to say, and sort of this background image is supposed to represent a little bit of Billy at different points in his life.
Yes. So we'll have partial memories and clear memories, which we'll see when we get to the end of the day. So we go for the final shift, and here it's a medical emergency. where his condition is going to drop by 3. So in this case, I'm going to assign the 3 staff here. Because it's the night shift, and this comes from kind of personal experience of caring for my dad. When you're on the night shift, you tend to build trust. It's like a different experience. So the players will gain 1 care token. So I'm going to give this to the other players who aren't here right now. Okay, so this will go to them. So at the end of the day, we kind of clean everything up, and then it's like we meet in the bar and we get to talk about Billy.
So at the end of the day.
So at the end of the day, we all kind of meet in the bar and we talk about Billy, and this is where we get to play the memories we've gathered out to the board. So I'm kind of cheating things a little bit because we wouldn't get this much usually in the first day. But this area here represents Billy's collected memories. It's a tableau of 30 cards.
Which we're going to slide up to give ourselves a little bit of room.
Okay. And we'll move that. So this is an area of 30 cards that's made up of 5 timelines from Billy's life. You can tell which timeline a card is from by the stitches that are on the side here. So these are both actually from the second timeline in his life. So we're going to flip them over and play them out to the tableau. You can see each card has stitches, and each card has a unique position. So that's part of the puzzle element. It's trying to figure out where each memory Billy is sharing with us, where it fits in the story of his life. So I'm going to flip this out, and I can see, so these don't actually fit here, they don't quite fit here. So there's somewhere.
We're looking at the little stitch lines along the edge that we know this is the second storyline, but they don't line up.
Yeah. So in these cases, they're from the second timeline, but we don't know where they fit. So then I would check the partial memory, or the clear memory, and I would secretly look at it. If it matches one of the cards that's already in play, I play it on top of it. Otherwise, Billy's telling us something that we don't quite understand, and we play it back to the clear memory deck. So in this case, it does match, okay? So then if we look again at what the memory was, he said, holding her that first time, she was so perfect. So we realized he was talking about his daughter, okay? And this is how the game plays. You're kind of moving backwards and forth between caring for this elderly person, but yet you're getting these glimpses of this very full and troubled life that he has lived as well. The first scenario involves you just finding out 5 basic things. So you have to get 1 clear memory from each timeline. But then as the story unfolds, he's asking you to kind of like trust him. He's maybe asking you to contact members of his family. And again, the story builds to a climax where hopefully he will reveal the 3 regrets that keep him holding on during the game.
I mean, I think a lot of people are probably going to resonate with that on a really personal level. And you had mentioned that you sort of had a bit of a personal motivation too from...
Yeah, we kind of feel games are at the point where comics were in the kind of late 70s, early 80s, where they were moving from just being entertainment to exploring, kind of real issues, the likes of Mouse, even Watchmen, and we kind of feel games are in that same position, and we want to be part of that transition. This game has elements of, shared stories that we've heard over time, and we've crafted that story into Billy's story. And we want to create a game that can deliver an emotional impact, we say sucker punch people, during the game. And we want to show that games can do that. We also wanted to create a game that would bring people in who maybe don't normally play games because of the current themes and genres that are being covered. Pandemic has done such an amazing job of bringing people into gaming because of the theme. And for this, the real world aspect of it resonates with a lot of people. And like you said, the narrative element and the mystery element is really, really compelling as you play the game as well.
Well, if you guys want to check that out, this is Holding On, The Troubled Life of Billy Kerr, which is going to be published by Hub Games.
Yes.
Rory, thank you so much for giving us a teaser. Rory, if people are going to be interested in picking this up, when do you think it's going to be available?
So it will be available at Essen, but once we know it's on a ship, we'll probably put it up for pre-order in September, because we want people who've been following the game and supporting such a different thing to be able to get their hands on it as quickly as possible. So our aim would be, if you pre-order, you can pick up at Essen, or it will ship around the same time that it's going on sale at Essen as well.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for letting us take a look.
It's a pleasure.